Ready to work?
What do you think I've been doing? Come in.
I thought you were goofing off. Wait till I get into office, man. I'll whip you into shape.
Promises, promises.
Where's Holly?
Oh, she's out getting her hair done.
What's this? You working on the police budget?
Yeah, I'm trying to. It ranks somewhere up there with the flu is my favorite thing to do.
Tell me about it. You're working on one department. I'm trying to budget a whole damn city.
Well, wait till you get into office. I'm going to slap you with so many budget requests, you'll think you were a banker.
I don't like the sound of that. I think I'll resign.
You can't resign. You haven't taken office yet.
It's just a technicality.
Luke, it's something you ought to think about. I mean, look, you can't pick up a paper these days without reading some article about a public figure being an assassin's target.
Well, if I want to join a shooting gallery or something, be a duck in it, I'd wear water wings.
Okay. Quack, quack. Welcome to the greatest show on earth.
That's my favorite part of the show. That's a circus. You know, you're talking about a circus.
Okay, this is close enough. And you're the ringmaster, the main attraction. And it's not a good time to be the star of the show. You attract headlines, you attract attention. Not all of it's going to be sympathetic.
The power of the press?
It'll make you or break you. Every now and again, it can get you killed.
You are real cheery.
Grant. Oh, Grant. Are you all right?
Fine, Celia.
I have been a nervous wreck ever since you called.
It was my stupidity. I shouldn't have told you over the phone. Celia, I'm sorry if I worried you.
I didn't think you'd make it home.
Grant and I were trying to identify the chap that took a shot at him.
You really think it was the same man who was here collecting for that children's fund?
I'm sure it was.
Let's go to the living room. I've got some questions for you.
I can't believe it. That man was actually on my doorstep. I even gave him money.
Had you ever seen him before?
No, never.
Can you offer a description?
I told you what I know. I barely glanced at him. I knew the charity he was representing. I made a remark about it being a worthy cause, and then I left for the park with Roy to run.
He must have followed you there. Then waited for his opportunity to make a move.
I suppose so. I certainly didn't tell him where I was going.
Yes, you did.
Oh.
What do you mean?
Don't you remember that when I asked you where you're going to go running, you said the park? He couldn't have missed hearing that.
That's right. So he probably slipped over to the park while we were running. Then he waited for us until we came back to the bench.
Did he say anything while he was here?
No, he just thanked me for my contribution and left.
Can you describe him?
He was ordinary. He wasn't too short, he wasn't too tall. He had sort of brownish hair.
It's exactly as I told you.
He was the sort of man you see every day on the street and don't even notice.
Great. Okay. Well, what was he wearing?
A sports jacket and slacks.
Just as I said.
Well, that narrows it right down. Can you offer up anything at all that might help us identify him?
No, nothing, really. He just... Oh, wait a minute. Jason.
Jason?
Jason said he was Daffy Doodle.
Who?
Daffy Doodle. He's the host of the children's show every morning on Channel 2. Listen, I know this sounds absolutely crazy, but he may be right.
The host of a children's show?
What makes you say that?
Well, Daffy Doodle has this crazy little finger gesture that he does, kind of a goodbye gesture. I saw him do it this morning on the television, and that man at the door did the exact same gesture to Jason.
It's worth a shot, isn't it?
I'm going to find out. Come on.
Where are you going?
The TV station. It's 5 minutes from here. I want Grant to get a look at this Daffy Doodle.
Be careful.
Daffy Doodle? Yeah, he's Melvin Nix. Why?
We need to talk to Mr. Nix.
Well, he's not here.
Where do we find him?
Well, I don't know. It's hard to say. He was over at General Hospital this morning putting on his show for the kids. And last time I saw him, he was heading out there.
When was this?
Well, this morning when we wrapped here. I don't think Mel would still be out there. You might try his place. Otherwise, I wouldn't know where to tell you to start looking.
Where does Nix live?
Well, he has a room at a boarding house over on Davenport, number 402.
Thank you.
Sure.
Let's go.
Excuse me, why in the world would the police want to talk to Melvin Nix? That guy wouldn't hurt a flea. I mean it. I've known him a long time, and he's the mildest guy you'd ever want to meet. Look, go easy on the poor guy, okay? He's been having a hard time of it lately. He's been pretty upset since he lost his sister in that plane crash.
You mean that commercial jet the DVX shot down?
Yeah, that's the one. You know, it's pretty terrible to think that something like that could happen and nobody cares.
Well, you're wrong there. The government is quite concerned about the violation of airspace, not to mention the death of the passengers. Now, we're lodging protests and taking other stern measures.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, that doesn't help Melvin. I can certainly understand why the guy feels so bitter.
Yeah. Sure he does. Well, thank you for your time.
Sure.
What did he do?
We just want to ask Mr. Nix some questions.
That's what cops always say. No offense, Commissioner. I knew he was up to something.
And what would make you say that?
Any grown man who dressed up in a clown's costume and acts silly for a bunch of kids on television can't have all his marbles now, can he?
Well, I wouldn't know.
You gonna pull your gun and kick in the door?
Why don't we try knocking first?
It won't do any good. He's out.
Nix, open up. It's the police. Nix? Oh, your key, please. Nix!
Yes, sir. I figured it'd come to this. So tell me, what kind of a pervert is he, anyhow? Say, these pictures are of you, aren't they? What'd you do to him, anyhow?
When did you last see Melvin Nix?
Oh, about an hour ago. Maybe less. But he was acting kind of strange.
You said you knew he'd be here?
He told me.
Did he say where he was going?
Yeah, that was the funny thing. He said he was headed back for General Hospital to do another show for the kids. Now, that set me to wondering right off. He'd already been there once today.
You want me to go with you?
No, I'll take Nix on my own. If I can, I want to do it quietly. If you go back to Celia, she needs you more than I do.
All right. You watch yourself, Robert.
I just hope I'm not too late. The idea of some lunatic running loose in the hospital does not amuse me.
Hang on to it. Whoa! Ooh.
Oh. All good things must come to an end. Now, we have to say goodbye. You remember how we do that, don't you? Huh?
Yes.
Until next time, boys and girls. Daffy.
Daffy Doodle, when are you coming back?
Oh, not for a long time. Not for a very long time. But you won't forget me, will you?
Never.
Oh, look. Oh. Will you keep this for me? Take it. Bye.
Bye.